of the Skull Sessions. My guest today is Chantell. Renee, is that how she's name?
Yep, it is.
Okay. All right, Chantell, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're up to, that sort of stuff.
Well, I am a published writer, artist, musician, uh, just like doing a million things. I'm a cat mom, a dog mom, a husband mom. So yeah, I'm getting ready for Houston Horror Film Fest, and that's in a couple of weeks. And my podcast that Dan was on, we are going to have a huge live recording, probably the biggest we've ever done. So yeah, I'm kind of preparing for that.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah.
Wait, you're saying that the one I was on, like, you normally don't go live?
Well, right, live in front of an audience. So at the Houston, we're going to actually be a guest podcast recording for the Houston Horror Film Fest. So yeah, we're going to be, who knows how many people will pop in. It could be 3, it could be 30, it could be 300. So I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Right. All right, so I really want to go to that, but I'm doing Killercon that's more or less around the same time. So
pretty much, yeah.
The same weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
But what are you doing there? Like, do you have a new book coming out that you're promoting for that?
Well, yeah, I actually released Shades of Evil.
Okay.
And this is my media room, so I've been trying to record that on audio myself. That's been an interesting adventure. But so I'll be selling it there, and yeah, doing my other book sales and be cosplaying, all kinds of stuff. It's a huge event, so we have a great time. We cut up. We do the same thing we did in Dallas. We stay in the hotel, so it's just like this huge horror family, and we all are just having fun until late in the wee hours, and they have parties and dances and all kinds of stuff for everybody. So it's a really fun time.
Well, I noticed some of the horror festivals, like everyone hangs out, and some of them is like it's over, everyone goes home. It's kind of weird. It's like, cause I'm used to tattoo conventions, and everybody used to hang out at those. Although that's kind of the way of the world now, because everyone just goes home.
Not at this one. The majority of the people are staying at the hotel, including the celebrities that are there. So you'll be in the bar hanging out, and you'll see, you'll be sitting next to Michael Myers and somebody from the Poltergeist, and then a bunch of people in cosplay, and we're just all having a good time. And there's always inevitably, like last year, there was a wedding, so we had like all these people dressed really super fancy, and they're looking at us like, what the hell? But then by the end of the night, everybody's enjoying each other's company. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I've done. There was a convention. It was like a horror convention and a tattoo convention at the same time. It was called Cream Fest. It was in Orlando, and I remember you'd have horror celebrities come. They'd hang out the whole time. So 3 of the Jasons came, like Kane Hodder and Derek Mears, and I forget the other guy's name. He looks pretty just like Kane Hodder, like big bulked up guy. And I remember we did like a collab painting where it was like me and 2 other artists of like the Jason Voorhees, and all the Jasons came. They hung out with us, so we did pictures. And I remember Kane like just joking around, like punched me in the jaw. But that guy is fucking rock solid. That fucking hurt.
Dang.
But they were all cool.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, they're usually pretty cool. This past Halloween, we had the Houston Horror Film Fest, that's pop-up markets, and we had a Voorhees that actually has a band, and I think it's called Voorhees or something like that. And so he had his band, and then it was like this craziness going on because, oh my God, what's his name from? Oh my gosh. The kid that used to be, that does the Michael Jackson performances, be a kind of Michael Jackson look now, and he was in the vampire movie in the 80s. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. Anyway, yeah, vampire movie.
Who was in, I mean, you said 80s, so
Corey somebody.
Yeah, Corey Taylor, yeah.
Or something like that, yeah.
Taylor Slipknot, I think.
Corey Haim? No.
Yes, I believe that's it.
Well, anyway, one of the Coreys, Corey Feldman maybe. Anyway,
was it Friday?
he was at the Houston Horror Film Fest pop-up market, and he was going to perform with his band.
Okay.
And so Jason was going to perform before him, but then Corey Feldman decided nobody was allowed to be on the stage before him. And it was just, it was like a horror diva moment. It was hilarious.
Rose move, yeah.
Oh, totally, like 100%. And then he was going around in the go-kart, and he had a hoodie on, like nobody knew it was him. It was great. Oh my God. If you ever get a chance to see him, you got to see him, if nothing else, for the spectacle of it, because he thinks he's Michael Jackson. Like, it's hilarious. But hey,
over his head that says, "I'm not famous anymore," you know.
I don't even know what the point of it was. I was like, dude, okay. But, whatever. I hope he enjoys his life, but it was just really hilarious. And I was like, is he really challenging Jason Voorhees? What's wrong with this dude? But yeah, they ended up playing on two separate stages. They had to put up another stage for the other talent that was there, because he wouldn't share the stage with him.
Well, I remember like going back to the thing with all the three Jasons at the horror festival, and King Hunter is like big in working out. She's always like songs like a brick house. And I remember at one point they actually let him go because they said Jason's supposed to be a riding zombie, and you look too fit.
That's great.
Right,
well, there's a Jason for everybody, I guess.
Well, I'm sure those movies don't pay a lot either, so it's not like you're gonna do like a whole alter your weight, alter your personality, like go into the character, you dive into it.
Yeah.
Just the money's not there.
Yeah, I mean this last Jason, I don't know how we got on Jason, but the last Jason, we met him at the last Houston Horror Film Fest, and his name is Jude something. I can't remember his full name. It's like 3 different names. He was a really cool guy. He's a very trained classical actor, and he actually did a lot of the fire stunts. You remember the house was on fire?
Yes.
Like, he was on fire for some of that, like, intentionally with the specialized suits and everything. But I'm like, dude, you need to get paid a whole lot more to do that shit. Like, that's crazy. And there's a lot of things I'll do, but man, getting set on fire to do something, that's just a little too much.
A lot of people get seriously hurt too.
Yeah.
Especially fire. Fire is really dangerous.
Yeah, and uncontrollable. But as humans, we think we can control all this stuff.
Well, we can't.
Yeah, really? Like, really? Okay.
Let's go back to your career with writing for a minute here. When did you start writing, and what was the first thing you put out?
I've been writing since I was like 11 or 12. Poetry has always kind of been my therapy,
Okay.
so to speak. And so I've always written. And then at one point, I met a friend in high school, and she was a writer. Like, she was writing a serial story where she wrote every week, and all her friends were always in this thing she was writing. And I thought, that's kind of cool. Well, years later, I'm talking years later, I was like, okay, I'm going to try this, because Stephen King had put out The Green Mile, where he did the small little booklets, and then it was like one big book. I was like, I bet I can do that.
I have not seen the movie. I have not read the book. Yeah,
really?
It's amazing.
It's good. I mean, that's one of the King stories that you're like, it's like Dolores Claiborne. It's like a really good, or Shawshank. Like, he does these stories that are really great, and then he does crazy stuff in between.
But Shawshank, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's along the lines of that. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So I went ahead and I did. I started doing that, where I started writing. I had an idea, and I dream up all my stories. A lot of people do this, and I thought, well, okay, I'm going to write the first book, like the little chapter, and then I thought, well, what's the next one going to be? And next thing you know, I'm like, shit, I'm writing a book. Like, oh man, this is actually happening. So I wrote a series, and I didn't publish it till about probably 2013, 2014. So, I mean, that was years later. And then after that, I was like, oh, I can do this. And then, one of the things, I don't know, who sees this, if you want to write, one of the things that I felt helped me a lot was joining the meetup.com. And I found a ton of authors and writing groups. And I just started going to them.
What is it? Meetup.com?
Yep. Meetup.com. And I'm going to tell you, man, like, I'm not trying to, like, they ain't pay me, but, I found so many other people that were into writing and groups, and, as you go through many of them, you'll start to see, okay, this one's going to actually help me. This one is just a joke. Like you'll be able to figure out who's serious and who's not, who just wants to come together and hear each other talk, and who wants to actually progress as an author. One of the things I've learned is you don't have to necessarily have a scholarship, which is an unpopular opinion, but I feel like a story is a story. There's really no actual, you have to tell a story like this. And so many movies and books and television shows have broken those barriers. It's good to understand what the quote unquote rules are, but only to break them. That's how I feel
No,
about
I
it.
agree. Like when I went to art school, one thing that really bugged my teacher is people, they break all sorts of art rules, and the teacher sees something and go, well, it's like Picasso. He's like, no, Picasso used to be an amazing realistic painter, and then he broke the rules. So you have to know the rules to break them.
Yeah. And it's okay. And you also got to realize sometimes rules are just things that other humans have made up to help them understand because everybody's a little different. I don't think that I don't necessarily know if I believe in like a natural talent versus no talent. I believe that it's one's ability to be comfortably there in front of the medium and create and communicate with that medium, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because like
it's probably I would say a little bit of both. Like you obviously have some natural talent, but you need to be in the environment that helps you build that. So you need like supportive people, you need like-minded people, you need like
100%.
similar things and so on. So it's almost like a butterfly effect. You
Yeah.
need a bunch of stuff feeding into it.
And I feel like people allow people to introvert them when it comes to their creativity. And so I think that stamps out a lot of creativity that people could have had and grew from. I think in my mind, I've always just created a fantasy world. You know what I mean? So I was able to really, I was a kid that was quiet with all her friends, right? And I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I went with my cousins and their boyfriends, and we were stealing street signs. And we had like one of those little tiny pickup seats. You know what I mean? So we were in my aunt's little tiny pickup. It wasn't those big giant regular pickups. It was like a miniature version of those. I don't know if you remember those, but anyway, tell them my age.
I do actually.
So we were driving, and this was in the middle of a very rural area out in Alvin, Texas. I'm in Texas, so it's just pretty much a lot of farms, and then you would have like little pockets of neighborhoods. So we were out still in the street sign, and then we see a car. And I don't know how many of us. It was probably like six of us, and everybody's like hide. So we all hid, and it was a cop. So he rolls up and he's like, "Hey!" He's shining his light, and my cousin and her boyfriend are hiding in the back of the pickup. They're like, "What are y'all doing here?" And the boyfriend's so scared.
Stolen street signs in the
Yeah. Well, luckily they had hidden the signs. I don't remember where they had put them, but he had peed himself, this guy, because he got so scared. And I immediately popped up. I was like, "Oh, we didn't know who you were. We thought, we were scared. We were waiting on our aunt. We ran out of gas. She's on her way to come get us." I mean, like that. It came right out of my mouth. No, like anything in my head to think, what should I say? It just happened.
Story, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I've always been. I can hear stuff and just start creating with it, and I'm a huge creator in that way. And I'm also a professional hairstylist. I've been doing hair for over 30 years. I don't consider myself a hairdresser anymore. I consider myself like a hair artist because I don't look at hair and go, "Oh, you should do this." I'm like, tell me what you do like and what you don't like, and I'll create something for you. Like that's how I am now. Which I'm sure you kind of feel that way about tattooing at this point.
Yeah, well, I think if you do anything really creatively as well, you're an artist. I mean, whether you build cabinets, whether you build cars, whether you draw, whether you tattoo, whether you do makeup or hair or whatever. I think and you obviously, I think it's pretty clear when you see people that they can pull it off and people that can't pull it off. And you're like, that person has a natural talent, so that makes them in my eyes an artist.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that, and I guess I try to play it down a bit because I don't want to make people feel bad, as if though not doing enough in life, or they'll never have the possibility of doing well to be a musician or to be a painter. I just say if it's not something you're comfortable with, it's like a muscle. Just keep going for it, and eventually you will be able to create something. I think it's possible for everyone to create, but a lot of people have just gotten told they can't.
Well, I think one thing, like you touched on something that reminded me of this was people's style. It might not like impress the mainstream right away, but it might be the next big thing. So you have so many people like musicians and artists and writers, and they come up with something, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this? This is not what we're looking for." And then it becomes, a cult classic.
Yeah, it's so true. I was thinking about that today. Like, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, it was all the rage to get breast implants, right? All the women wanted to have the breast implants, and now it's all the ass implants. It's like, who would have thought that we would have went that way? But I mean, that's just a visual, right? If you look at even doing hair, I am doing mullets. This was something that was popular back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, like
And I,
the Theo Von thing. Like, have you seen the comedian Theo Von?
mhm. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't understand.
Oh,
And
Molly
go ahead.
Miley Cyrus has mullet as well. Like it's kind of the female version, but yeah, they're popular again.
Yes, yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. And everything's got a new name. So, like everything that I knew, like they now call the mullet a wolf cut. It's not really a mullet anymore. It's called a wolf cut. And I'm like, what? And so every day I see something like, this is how we do this type of cut. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not what that's called. And it's just really funny. You just have to watch things change over time. It's an interesting thing as you age. It's not everybody gets to do it. So I appreciate it, but it's quite interesting to see the stuff that other people are creating. It's like you're recycling what we did, but okay, that sounds good.
Well, like when you get subjective, I think you show a little bit of your age too. Like like I know I do. Like I'll be like, yeah, this is like, I remember this was great. And they're like, oh, you mean back in 1990? I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And
So moving back to you writing, so you told the great stories of the cops, and that got you through the scene. But when did you start expanding it out to like do actual novels, novellas, short stories?
well, like I said, I published my series between 2013 and 2016. And then I had a big loss in 2017. Actually, 2017 was the last book I published that was a novel. And I lost someone close to me in 2017, and it kind of like threw me for a loop. I was not expecting that. And then, yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, and I did some shorts. I did some anthologies. I wrote some short stories. But that creative side of me just kind of like, whew, like took a big punch. And I wasn't expecting it. It was an aunt, but she helped raise me with my grandmother. So my grandmother had already done passed, but losing my aunt, it just like took away that foundation of home. It's kind of like when you lose your parents, right? It was weird that I felt it happened with them, but that's how I felt about it. And so I actually ended up meeting my now husband at the end of that year. And then, of course, when you meet someone new, you kind of go through the whole, now you're growing into this relationship. So I was kind of grieving and going through the whole honeymoon phase of my relationship. We were married by 2018. I don't know what, I never wanted to get married again. This is my second marriage. But he talked me into it. I maintain it's his fault. So now when he complains, yeah, and now when he complains, I'm like, dude, this was your idea. So, but yeah, so we've been together since then. But I started to get some ideas, and you're probably a lot like me when you have something cooking, you cook on it for a while, and I really was getting into possession. I found the idea of possession really interesting, and all the movies you see are very similar. Um, and I wanted to write a book that kind of went into that, but with a little bit of a shift because I wanted to bring all the religion too. I wanted to bring the concept of God the Catholic point of view of demons and sin, and I really wanted all that very, very like palatable, like where you could really feel the desire for the from the demon to the the holy sacraments, and just feeling like this back and forth between the two. And I hope I achieved it. It's going to be a 2 volume series. So this is the first volume that I finished, and the second one I'm working on now.
Okay. What's it called?
Shades of Evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think the religion limits it a little bit? I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I remember everybody telling me they were so impressed by The Exorcist. Like, oh, you gotta see this, you gotta see it. But the thing is, I'm an atheist, so I saw that and I was like, to me, like, this wouldn't happen. It's just like fantasy. But then, like,
Yes.
I'll see something like, I don't know if you read the series Preacher, so
Yes.
it's kind of like a fantastical take. I was like, oh, this is great. Or like I'm Norwegian, so I've read all the Norse myths, so I read about Thor and Odin and whatever. Like I didn't feel like that was trying to shove an ideology down my throat. It's just more like here's a fantastical story.
Yes. And I will say at the end of this book, what you think is happening is not what's happening.
Okay.
So it does shift. It does shift. So in the beginning of the book, it feels like we're in a haunted house, and it feels like something is haunting this guy, and things start to really just become very eerie and weird as we go through it, and he starts changing. And the reason it's called Shades of Evil is because I completely focus on the sins. And I was making the gluttony very gluttonous, and the pride very prideful, the lust extremely lustful, the anger, the war, whatever you want to call it, as much as I could, I was playing these up in each person and every situation. And then I had the flip side of the priest and the nun and what they were going through, and how they were trying to deal with it with their knowledge of what they're, seeing. But at the end of the book, it kind of becomes, I would say I get a little bit, oh my God, what's his name? Lovecraft. A little Lovecraft at the end, because it's not our dimension that this
kind of cosmic horror.
Yes, it becomes cosmic horror, but it still is with the I'm playing with the ideas of these angels, these creations of God, still being part of that, because they are what God did was He created. And okay, I guess this is a spoiler in case you decide to read the book. He created this realm, and when He banished His fallen children, He banished them to a different realm that ended up being this dimension that had all these creatures. So
there's kind of like intricacy going on. It's not sort of the Christian religion. Like I noticed, like Neil Gaiman, he did. I love the Sandman series, but he did one where Sandman goes to hell, and like it's kind of like he meets Lucifer, and Lucifer's like, yeah, I give up. By the way, here's the key to hell. And it was a very clever story. It was a very well told story. And you don't necessarily have to go, I believe in all that stuff. You go, I like where that's going.
right, and it's definitely not about belief as much as it's about um, understanding that cosmically we are all in a creation, whether it's creation by one being. In this particular case, I'm taking it from the perspective of a god or God. But perhaps it's our own creations. And so, it turns into cosmic horror at the end. And then the second half and volume 2, we're going to find out the depths of what that's going to entail. And we're going to get to know Satan more. Because we only meet him a little bit, Mr. Morningstar. And he's just, of course, he's angry because he's been banished into a whole different realm than he was created in.
Well,
And so,
the Bible, I don't know, the community is really funny. And he's talking about Jim Jeffrey. He's talking about like how Satan only kills like I think 13 people in the Bible, and God kills like 2,300 and something. So it's like maybe God just talking smack. Is he like I'm too good to answer. I'm too good to answer. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely being very blunt about these things that are considered holy. In the second volume, the rapture has started, and so we're going to be watching who God decides to take, who He doesn't take, um, the people that are left behind, what happens to these people, and just like in general, like the decisions that every being can make, whether they're celestial or human or other, and how they can affect each other. And so it's going to be an interesting ending, I suppose. I still will probably create on it. And, I see it in my head, but then I'm like, I'm going to cheat it. Who knows? So I just go as I'm a bit of a pantser. So I just go by the seat of my pants, man. I just write and whatever feels right, I'm going to put it in there.
Well, there's like a whole depth of the whole apocrypha and all the like, kind of like not discussed stuff like a lot of it locked down in the Vatican, about like the Christian religion, and like some of it goes in depth about like alien visitations and otherworldly creatures and stuff, and they just trying to like zero that out because it's like maybe people wouldn't believe that, but I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. No, and I think it's, I don't really think that I'm going to have a bunch of religious people reading this. So it would be an interesting situation if they did, I tell you. But I'm trying to stay as close to the prayers and the belief system because I want people to understand, and I think this was still part of my childhood memory of, I believe that, you know, it was Catholicism when I was younger, and then become which Christianity is still Catholicism in a way. Um,
Well, my parents are Bible Baptists, so it's like, and they're very against Catholicism. But the thing is, like, the difference is so small. It's like the Sunni and the Shia Muslims. Like, the difference is so small that they kill each other.
well, let me tell you, I heard an interesting thing, not to jump too far away from what I was talking about, but I'm pagan. I'm actually a couple of different things, but I'm pagan mostly. And um, I heard a Christian say that, I'm sorry, a Christian say that Catholicism was too pagan. And I think it's hilarious because, the Catholic Church came about by basically raping and taking away from everything that pagans were. And even to the point that they were celebrating their holidays and changing even their songs over to what they believe.
Well, a lot of
So,
Christianity does that too. Like, because they're all Canaanites, so it's like they took a little bit from this religion, from the Code of Hammurabi, from all sorts of stuff. They just piled it all together and go, "Oh, by the way, this is the final word."
yeah. So it's an interesting situation to watch how people are evolving in that world. But I like the idea, like I was saying, as a kid, I always thought this was what things were. This is the box. This is how they were. And so I like the idea of writing this story to give people an idea that just because this is who you think you are, what you know, doesn't mean that's actually reality. And I think most storytellers are trying to do that in some way, even love stories, because one girl might see this guy who's being aggressive to this woman. Like there's a real popular book right now called Credence, and it's like this very taboo subject. And so if you looked at it from the outside and you saw the situation, you think, oh wow, this is pretty fucked up. But if you looked at it from the perspective of the person who's living it, you're like, oh, this is very therapeutic for her. She needed all these things to happen. So, you never know what other people are dealing with. But I like even in that silly book that I felt, half of it, I felt like I was going to fall asleep reading. There was still some stuff in it that really hit home for me. And I thought, oh shit, that changes my perspective about some things. So you never know, that's why you never know what you're going to get out of reading. And I wish more people would get back to reading. If nothing else, listening to books, because that's what's amazing about storytelling. And that's why entertainers are paid so well in our societies, because we are looking to see what is this other point of view? How can I grow from that? And I think people aren't these days aren't seeing how important that is. Young people, but they're young. They still got some growing up to do, I guess.
Well, I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like it was like, yeah, well, they focus on stuff like the Kardashians instead of focusing on like the fact that we're starting secret wars or whatever. It's like, but the double-edged sword is like that sells it what sells. So when they put out stuff, they say, "Oh, the way the news report people like click," So, but there is a lot of clever stuff out there. I do wish more people wrote. I wish more people. People always act surprised when something amazing comes out from a really good writer. It's like, yeah, but if you look at all the good stuff, like there's a lot of stuff. Like I remember when I went to art school, and my art teacher was like, "Who do you like?" I like Frazetta a lot. And he said, "Well, for every Frank Frazetta, there were 10 people better than him that didn't make it."
Yeah. And it really is, it's not a matter of uniqueness or even talent. I feel like it's about your passion, right? It comes through in what you create. There could be somebody throwing paint at a board and that's all they do, but the passion of what they're doing and the colors they're choosing could be making them. They make other people.
Like I actually love Jackson Pollock stuff.
Yeah, so it's all about how you affect another person through your medium. And I think that is something a lot of people don't realize. And they have a lot of passion and they love what they're doing, but unless it's being communicated through to another person who can look at it and feel it, then you're not really giving it away. I think that if that makes sense, we don't give a lot of people are afraid to give away what they have inside. And I think that's the thing we all look for because that's, we're always we were born alone, we're gonna die alone. Nobody's gonna necessarily die with us. And like we are in this body goes, that's that. So, I think
Have you seen Cabinet Curiosity's show?
I've seen some of them, yes.
There's one guy in there and he has stomach cancer and tells his friend's like, "Well, have you made your peace with this?" He's like, "Well, what's my alternative?" He goes, "We're all the same conveyor belt. Some of us just fall off before others." I thought that was a great line.
Yeah. I mean, and if you are putting art out there, you're just trying to let somebody else know, hey, I'm here too.
Right.
Hey, I felt that too. Hey, it's okay to go through that. That's part of life. And I think we all have this thing in our head that's like, oh, this happened to me, and nobody else knows what this is like, and that's just not true. I think I have to watch myself because I get offended by other people who say things, and I'm like, dude, have you ever experienced that? Like, what are you saying that for? And I have to check myself because of, especially like with anything that I feel like that people have gone through, like major abuse and things like that. I'm like, it may seem like it's not a big deal to you, but you've never experienced it, so you don't really know.
That's one thing I've learned with age. You really got to know the inside perspective to really see the like how it really impacts people and what the elements really are. Because it's very easy to like snap a judgment.
And I'm also on the flip side of just because all that shit happened to you doesn't mean you can use it as a crutch.
Right. Oh,
Because
yeah.
yeah, you've got to fucking keep going. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss on here.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. You got to keep going, man. You got to keep creating. You got to keep paving the way. You got to keep making, yourself feel good and sharing. Because I don't really understand the victim mentality, and I think you're a lot like this, like I am. Like we've all been through some different things, and if you just sit there and wallow in it, you're never gonna live. So why survive those things if you aren't gonna live?
Well, I feel like the only person that cares whether you make it or not in the end is you. Like your friends might be like, "Oh yeah, well she has so much potential," but if you like, and another thing is like, I think this is a point that you brought up is put your best into it, put your full effort into it, even if nobody's gonna look at it. That really shines through later on. Like, Lovecraft died poor. He died like undiagnosed cancer. When it was diagnosed, it was way too late. He thought nobody liked his stuff. he'd be a multi-millionaire now. And
Yeah.
tons of people are inspired by him. Edgar Allan Poe died, in a gutter. But these are like amazing legends that they were obviously just trying to put out their best stuff. They didn't
Yeah.
care whether one person read it or 100 people read it. Now thousands and thousands of people are inspired.
Yeah. And now I do think too we're creatures of habit because there's probably so many people that have gone now that we don't even know their stuff because these greats are overshadowing them. It's kind of like the vampire and the werewolf, like those two classic horror villains are always going to be so overshadow all the other creatures that we create because there's just so much that we have grown with those creatures and I don't know, you know what I mean? It's a strange world we live in, and especially like I don't, I know we're running out of time, but man, this whole thing with the government talking about aliens all of a sudden, I'm like, what is happening?
I think that it's kind of like we knew.
Yeah, there's I'm the
Show us
conspiracy
happened.
girl. What are you trying to not, what are you trying to keep us from looking at? Because it's the stuff that they'll be reporting that's just barely mentioned for 3 minutes that we should be paying more attention to than the sensationalized stuff.
Well, I also feel like whenever there's a scandal, they go, by the way, there's aliens, like just
Exactly.
away from the scandal. And
Yeah.
I'm not even picking one side or the other. I think both sides suck.
110%, like 110%. It's ridiculous. I'm voting for the aliens, actually. I'm just gonna write that shit in from now on.
I always have on my car I have the sticker that says, "Vote for Cthulhu. Why vote for a lesser evil?"
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Humans are just stupid as fuck. I mean, sorry, people. I wasn't talking about y'all. But no, I mean,
Well,
it's
obviously,
crazy.
you're watching this podcast. You're not dumb as fuck.
Yeah, that's true. No, but I mean, I'm talking about these people who want to control people. Like, that was a lesson I think I learned so long ago. There is really no controlling people. You might think you've got people backed into a corner, but you never know. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, my sister does cat rescue, and we had a family of kittens outside, and we couldn't find mom and dad. And we're like, shit, we got to get these kittens. Like, we need to trap them. So we got two in the cage, and we're like, yes. Well, me being the I'm not paying attention human that I can be, I had the kennel upside down, so the big holes were on top, and that one of the kittens just went flying out. And I was like, oh my god. Long story short, we went to go get this kitten that we kind of had in an area, and she's like, okay, go towards her, and she'll come around the corner, and I'll grab her. I said, okay. I started going towards her, and then she shot at me, and then she's like past me, and I was like, well, I wasn't expecting that shit. So that's what I'm saying. People think they have something in mind that these leaders, these people, power hungry people, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. You never know. And that's one thing I can honestly say about reading and being a reader. It's going to fire your own creativity. It's going to fire your mind off into different directions. It's going to make you think for yourself. So if there's anything I support, it's people, getting into reading. Read anthologies if you don't want to read a novel. Anthologies are great. They're little tiny short stories. It's like a speed date. If you don't like it, keep going to the next one. And just pick up anthologies, and then eventually you may find a story that sinks in and you want to read. But illiteracy is basically how they're creating slaves out of people on this planet. And I cannot stress enough how much people need to read. Make yourself read.
Definitely agree. And usually people go way more in depth in the book than they do when they make into a Hollywood movie, like American Psycho. Like if you read that book is fucked up. There is
And the movie was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I hated the movie when I first saw it because I read the book, but like in hindsight, like it wasn't bad. It was good for what they could get away with as a movie, but the book is so much better. But
Yeah.
like that's the power of a good book.
It's true.
So enthralling.
Let me tell you too, guys and girls, if you so please. you have never felt sexual desire until you've read it in a book. You can watch Pornhub all day and it'll just be like flipping through a magazine. You pick up a book that has sex in it, you're gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah.
Yeah, well, because like good writers like descriptive and they bring in like the sights and the smells and the atmosphere
That's
and
right.
everything else. And
It'll change.
that really triggers you.
Yeah, and it'll change your life reading about struggles. What was the one? They did a pretty decent job with the movie. Oh my God, what was it called? About with the lady with the pie. And she made the pie.
Was it American?
Nope, not American. It was The Help. The book compared to the movie. Oh my God, it was so good. It helped you understand not just the concept of what was happening, but the struggle of both sides. Both the women who were still, they weren't necessarily quote unquote slaves, it was segregation. But the unfairness between what impoverished people were versus the people who weren't. And it's just, reading books like that will give you a perspective. I'm so sick of people being a fucking professional or a fucking expert when they just hear a podcast and people talking. You hear us talk, read the shit we're talking about, and then you'll become an understanded person. You'll become a learned person because you don't really know until you experience it for yourself. And then you can say, oh, I do have some understanding of that because I read that, or I studied that, or I picked up that glossary and I looked up those words. I mean, I'm so tired of people saying someone's an expert at something just because they listen to a podcast all day about it, or they went over there and, like, yeah, YouTubed it. Like, dude.
Twitter,
Like, no, oh yeah, or TikTok. Oh, I watch TikTok about that all the time. That's wonderful. What books have you studied? Like, how do you know? So we've got to stop giving our intelligence away. And I think that's the main Achilles heel here. We've got to get ourselves as literate as we can be and help children. If you're a parent, help your kid, man. Make sure they know what the hell they're looking at every day. Because this world will swallow them right up.
I think reading like a good writer really tells you about the human experience. Like I don't agree 100% with all the politics within the Goose Breath, but it's a great fucking story and it really made me understand what that depression was like.
Yep. And that's what we need, man. And it's so horrible. It's so horrible that they're banning books in our states. Because guys, you have the right to buy those books, by the way. Just because it's banned in your state doesn't mean you can't buy it. But I mean,
actually, if they ban it, you probably should buy it.
Exactly. I'm actually a banned author in Florida, so I'm like, yes.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, for real, like, you if you know how to do your basic reading and writing, man, you will only hurt yourself if you don't push yourself to read. And if you do know how to read and write, make sure your children do, and make sure your nieces and nephews do. Seriously, that's what's fucking up our whole planet. I think it is. I think that's the root of it. But anyway, I can get a little bit.
A couple things are fucking our whole planet, but yeah, that's definitely a large part of it. But
yeah.
All right, so we can probably talk all day, but we don't have all day. So let me know what you're working on and how people can see your stuff.
Well, guys, you can. Well, I don't keep up with it as much as I could, but you can find my all my social media through my website, chantellrenee.com. I'm always on Instagram and Facebook. I don't know about this new X Twitter thing. I might try to work on it. I don't know, man. That's a weird world to me. I do a little bit of TikTok, and it's I like watching some TikToks. I like the humor of it. Or you can check out my podcast, Sex and Horror Podcast with Dicey and Chantell Renee. I'm a little. Yes, Dan was on there. I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit more crazy on that show. Dicey brings out the crazy. But no, I try to be and I try to bring the enlightenment part of it with me. But mostly, it's just Facebook, Chantell Renee.
Okay, awesome. Do you have a website or an Amazon authors page?
Yep, I have both. It's all Chantell Renee. ChantellRenee.com, Chantell Renee on Amazon author. Yeah, everything Chantell, and Chantellrene.
And would you have this available on Amazon right now?
Right now, everything's up except for my new book. I don't know why. I have to reach out to Amazon. It says it's live, but I can't fucking find it. I'm like, it says it's there. I'm worried because there's a little bit of sex in it, so I'm worried if they put it on a different list.
Yeah.
So,
They've gotten so big they're hard to contact, and some of the stuff's confusing. I ran into that with my new anthology. Like I put it up, it was live, but then they kind of buried it, and people couldn't find it, and yeah, it can be a nightmare.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, as soon as I get it fixed, I'm going to be putting that link everywhere, so it'll be on all my socials. You'll be able to find it through my social media.
Okay. Well, thanks, Chantell, very much for doing this, and
Yes.
I'm sure we'll do it again in the future.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jan. It was great seeing you again.
All right, you too. All right, thanks.